3.
5, 4, 3. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Switch now.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. We're live.
Breaking views.
Breaking Bad. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Do you know that Breaking Bad thing?
Yeah, I never watched. I could never get into it.
No, it was really good. And there's a spin-off called Better Call Saul.
Indeed.
And he's called Saul Goodman, right?
Uh-huh.
And I just started watching Better Call Saul, and you're live, by the way.
We are live.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm live now. I'm live now. There we go. Let's go to cross dissolve. Let's go to threes up. Where's threes up? Where's threes up? I'll do A, B, C. There you go. So I'm the biggie. I'm the one in the middle. I'm the star.
Let's hear it for the man in the middle.
And the audience loves you.
The audience loves
Because they don't have to sit beside you.
because he hasn't shaved and he hasn't showered. Because he didn't have time. Because the girls were chatting.
Because it's all our fault, is it?
And
all your
forgetting
fault.
it's
about
not
the
so much
gin and tonic.
mansplaining, it's man-shaming.
Man shaming. There you go.
I like rough guys.
Oh, you do?
Exactly.
She likes it rough.
Nur die Harten kommen Garten.
Naughty heart and coming in garden. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, evening gang. Hello. Can you all hear us? I think you can. Can you all see us? I think you can. Welcome to Balcony Banter.
Dun, 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 dun. We get updated news as we speak. Even as we speak.
Did you hear that? I can't remember if you heard that.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, Cleo's on top now. There you go.
Girls on top.
There's you go.
There's always a song for
Okay.
everything, isn't there?
There's a song for everything. So, we're going to relax now, ladies and gentlemen. The prologue. 10 points if you know where that comes from. The prologue. Frankie Howard. Give you a tip. Oh, Pompeii. I've said it now.
Again, something I would never watch.
Okay, how's Christina feeling? The reason people are asking how's Christina feeling is because we didn't go swimming on Tuesday. Let me just get this microphone closer
I'm
to mine.
feeling much better. So
We didn't go swimming on Tuesday because she had a dicky tummy and didn't want to colour the
Yes.
Anyway.
TMI. Tim.
TMI.
Yes,
Too much
Tim.
information. There you go.
Quite, Chris. Well done.
Quite.
Great.
So the topic of Balcony Banter today, we have 3 different portions of the show. The first portion of the show is the topic, which is risk-taking, unless you've got to leave early.
At 7.
At 7, okay. So, risk-taking. So, and it was, I can't even remember who it was.
Risk taking.
It was you.
It was me.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
it me? I say I can't remember because we all seem to just kind of coalesce our ideas so
We
I
do.
much.
think this week we didn't really set a specific topic.
No, we never
so,
agreed. We agreed
just,
on everything.
We just went with the flow.
Okay, so the flow was, I'll tell you what it was. There was a couple of things that were sort of near the knuckle and we didn't want to touch this week. So then, what started risk-taking about Boris Johnson maybe, or governments
We said we
making
weren't
decisions?
going to. Yeah, it was about lifting restrictions.
Right.
It was more to do with. And in fact, I've come over to your house about 10 minutes ago, and I'm in a bad mood. I told everyone I was in a bad mood.
Me too.
Because I'm now joining the cohort of people who think that the wrong decisions might be being made. And while I might not have been a big fan of Boris Johnson's over the years, I'm wondering, is the UK taking now a risk, but the right risk, in terms of trying to open up the country, trying to say to people, okay, personal responsibility now takes precedence over government responsibility.
And the reason you're interested in the UK at the moment is because you've got family members and
but
plans that are going.
I don't actually.
Oh, no.
I will have a family member who is planning to go and study there in September.
Oh, in September.
Which
okay.
is 2 months away.
Okay.
But I do think that, like, forget Brexit, forget the EU, they have been the leaders recently in terms of vaccines, in terms of decision making, and people happening in the UK at the moment. So if the risk that Boris Johnson takes pays off, if the gamble pays off, I think other countries will start to follow.
Okay, so
And so they took a risk with the vaccines, and everyone was kind of holding back, and the EU held back, and they didn't invest in vaccines, and they didn't order vaccines, and the UK won that gamble. Okay? If you want to go into the politics of it.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought that the UK ordered the vaccines early.
Yeah, exactly.
And
not knowing yet whether they were going to work or not.
correct, but
So
they
they took a
also
gamble.
wrote into the contract that you had to deliver to the UK first, and you couldn't deliver to anybody else. So it wasn't the EU.
But I don't think they did that on all 4 vaccines.
No.
On the Oxford, they did it on the Astra. I just think maybe now is the time to, because I think everyone's just really frustrated with same old. I mean, it's looking really likely now that Tenerife's going into level 4 tomorrow.
We're coming tomorrow. We're coming to that.
Yeah.
We're coming to that.
So should governments, should individuals, because we can't take the risks at the moment if we break the law.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not advocating that at all.
Exactly.
What I'm
Do not break the
advocating
law.
is that maybe governments need to flip how they're thinking about things. Rather than looking at infections, look at hospitalizations and rates of death of people who've been vaccinated, or risk factors to those who don't get very sick. I'm no expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in government. I don't have any degree in diseases or in pandemics. But it just seems to me that the current way of thinking isn't working.
So you're like 99.99999% of the rest of us.
Exactly.
And you're fed up and you can't take it anymore.
And I'm going to stand at my window and shout.
And
But you
what
can't
is the
hear
film
it.
reference? The film reference there?
The news talk, news way. It's Peter.
Yes, but what is it called?
And now you've got me. And everyone has to go to the window and open their window and shout, "I'm pissed off and I can't take it anymore."
I can't take it anymore. Yeah. I can't even remember what it's called now.
I'll have to look it up.
No.
Well, I shut up because I've ranted on now. And what were you going to say, Julianne? I really insulted, I think, Julianne and Christine because I refused to accept their
you
conditions.
Didn't. I think it's important to rent sometimes. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. You have to make yourself air, right? And I think what at the minute the best we can do, if this is such confusion and such frustration and chaos, the best we can do is actually trust ourselves more, and be our own inner government. And look for our own inner government.
I'd like to be my own inner government. So,
But I do think it has to be
just to
a-
kick this thing off.
Yeah.
Network. Network.
Thank you.
That's
the
it.
topic today is taking risks, and it can be anything. And we'd like you to join in. You can join in 3 ways. You can either shout at the TV, or shout at the computer,
Or
shout
out the
at
window.
phone, or
Shout
out
at the
window,
balcony
yeah.
because it's balcony banter.
or you can send us a chat online, which I will give to somebody who's responsible,
Or a bribe. They could send us bribes.
and send us bribes. Yeah, they do that anyway. To write in the things a question, and I want you to write it in big letters and with the word question, or just a big Q.
That's a good
A
one.
big Q at the beginning in big letters, and then your question.
But no anon.
But no anon, yeah.
Q
no
anon.
Q anon. Oh, okay. Anyway, so you do that. Or I will open the room, and if you are a recognised person, that means you've got an account that we recognise, then we'll let you in. Anonymous accounts won't be let in. Cloned accounts will also not be let in. Unfortunately, if you've just had your account for the last couple of days, then we won't let you in either. But that's another story. Anyway, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. I'm going to go to the Two's Up Balcony Banter page like that. Can you look at Giuliani, please? Okay, then I need to do the other way around. So, solo mio.
I need to look at myself.
No, I've got to put them first, because then when you look at them, it looks like you're actually looking at them on the screen. That's quite good.
Okay.
Yeah, because that means you're this side of the screen and they're that side of the screen. And
So
if you
it's
did it the other way
natural.
around, when you look at them, you're looking out to sea.
Okay. It'd
Okay.
be a bit rude. I'd be talking to Giuliani like this saying, and I really agree with you.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this over to Cleo, because she is the
Oh, dear.
the one I trust.
That really
Yeah,
says a lot
no,
about your
it's-
wife and your companion.
Christina can't see.
It's better.
Christina can't see, and Giuliani I wouldn't trust as far as I could chuck her.
Exactly. It's
What am
not
I doing?
My
Down there in the
favorite
bottom
thing to
there
do.
are some what's it called?
Questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and jelly spoons. I'm going to jump out for a second because I really do need to just jump in the shower, and I'm going to have a quick shower. And don't run in with the camera.
All right.
And if you do, that one, because it's wide angle.
And who'll be on top?
Right, so I'm going to leave you in the capable hands. I'm
Okay.
still talking about, I'm not on Auntie. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of my beautiful wife, Christina.
Yeah.
Our beautiful guests, Juliani and Cleo.
Hello.
And I shall see you in
Hello.
a minute.
So I've got one here from Brendan O'Donnell, which if we're just going to dive straight in, will we? It says, it's just been announced that Canaries will remain on the UK's amber list. Okay, well, thank you, Brendan, because I've been keeping an eye on my Twitter feed. I don't know if that means I was listening to Simon Calder on BBC a couple of minutes ago.
about the COVID.
No, all right, we won't. No, because they were talking that the Balearics might go on the amber list, go from green to amber, so that the Canaries is staying on the amber list. That means that the UK have decided to risk sticking with us on the amber list, so that's good. Rather than talking more about COVID, because I think we're going to come back to that, Juliani, why don't you talk to me about risks in life choices?
I was asking Christine early on what her risk is. What she was saying about risk take, or what she had to say about risk taking, and you came up with something that sounds.
It's got nothing to do with
It has?
COVID.
No, well,
Exactly.
that's it. So we're going to move. That's the
thing.
good thing.
It's
Let's put
just
COVID to one side for a while.
my risk is when I go to the pool tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we haven't been there for 2 years. And my legs are a bit worse now.
Yeah.
So the question is, I can go in, no problem. Tim just throws me.
From the balcony.
No, from the side of the pool.
And someone will get you out, no?
Hopefully, Tim.
But the risk is, can we make it to get out again?
Together, right?
Okay.
Exactly.
Together.
Okay.
Am I strong enough still to hold tight to Tim?
Yeah.
Is Tim still strong enough to
Yeah.
carry me out?
Yeah. So the risk is there that both of you are not gonna come out
Yeah.
safely. But
And we gotta get help. Some strong
somebody
guy.
is gonna be there.
Yeah.
And and you won't know if you don't try, right?
Right.
So tomorrow, you said you're gonna go for it, and then maybe do it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
That
Good.
would be nice.
Works, but if
I think
it's
we
in
need to
this
do a balcony
house,
banter from the pool one day.
Yeah, a pool banter.
Pool
Yeah.
banter.
Woohoo!
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But so does that mean, do you think that it's a personal risk or is it a joint risk with you and Tim? I mean, you're feeling it inside, aren't you?
Yeah,
Are you worried? You're really worried.
a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. I mean, but at the end of the day, the risks we take, because if you didn't want to do it, Tim's not going to make you do it. So it has to be your decision, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Big risks.
Yeah.
And I mean, okay, it's the pool, but it's not like that. Tim is not taking you out, or hasn't been taking you out of the wheelchair and put you somewhere for 2 years. He's doing that on a regular basis every day.
Yeah.
It's just now a different territory.
Different environment, yeah.
So and it's not that he hasn't done it before, so he knows, and I think it's maybe similar to bicycle riding. I haven't been.
Okay, I don't think Christine's going to ride a bicycle tomorrow.
No,
I don't know.
No, but just the context is maybe
Yeah,
similar.
no, I know.
So
And I wonder, can I ask, when you do achieve it, because I absolutely believe that you will go down there, you'll swim, you'll get out, and you'll have a great time. Will the sense of achievement be made even greater by the fact that it feels like a risk? So
Probably,
is that
yeah.
a seesaw thing that we do in life? Juliana, that would be your territory. So
Well-
that the incredible sense of achievement afterwards is because we actually were really worried about whether we could actually do it or not.
maybe it's something that gives you empowerment, or trust again in yourself, in your capability, where we are again back to the topic from before. Those things empower you much more, and it gives you more confidence and more belief in yourself,
Yeah.
and you trust bit by bit by doing things that you are maybe actually a little bit scared of. You don't know if it's gonna work, but or if you're gonna be alone with it, or if you're strong enough, if you can do it,
Yeah,
if you will have the support.
I suppose life is like a roller coaster of
Yeah,
risks, isn't it, the whole time?
It is, and it's basically it's an up and down and up and
Yeah.
down.
I mean, whether it's taking the decision to come out here and live, taking the decision to have a kid, taking the decision to separate, or
Everything.
and every time I've gone for a new job, I've always felt I will do better if I'm really scared about taking on the job. If I not scared so much as challenge, and challenge and risk are very much related, aren't they?
Yeah, so scared and excited at the same time is a good combination.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like tapping into new territory, and of course it's always combined with fear, but then it's sort of like how am I gonna get over this fear barrier? How am I gonna make it over to the other side? And this is, I mean, it's some things happen that are like impacting. Boom. It's sort of like what happened with the COVID situation. It just bang, from one day to the next it changed.
Yeah.
And now live with it, right? But some things that we do consciously or
By
that,
choice.
by choice, exactly, deliberately, we have to sort of gain confidence and gain our own trust in ourselves, so that we actually can be able to do it, and that's up to the individual. That's not something that is imposed upon us. It's something that comes by choice.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think, like you, Christine, deciding to go to the pool tomorrow, and this comes with age maybe, like I'm thinking of almost silly things, like there are certain things in my life that I know are risky and I have no interest in doing because it means nothing to me, like bungee jumping, for instance.
Yeah.
I don't want to bungee jump, and no one will be able to tease me into doing it. I don't want to do it. It will not change my life. It will not contribute to my life whether I do it or not. Whereas maybe deciding to learn a new language, or deciding to meet somebody that I'm not sure will make my life different or not. There are different kinds of risks you take, or you decide to take, aren't they? And it's the risks that you're deciding to embark upon that make a real difference.
Absolutely, and I think it's also whether the question is sometimes whether we allow ourselves to dream a little bit more about things, or whether we have given up dreaming.
Oh, I hope we never do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not sure about plastic surgery. I think about it. So.
Oh, well, that's not a dream.
I would never do that.
No, I'm joking, Chris. I would never. Neither would
No,
I.
you don't need it.
No, but again, it's not about need, is it? It's about, there are people who do plastic surgery at the age of 20. And I think, to me, that's a risk. I suppose that's another thing, isn't it? You judge risk by how it relates to your sense of self-worth, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you think, having a boob job at 18 isn't risky, but it's going to improve your self-worth, I would think it's just plain stupid. But then there are people who would say, no, it's actually something I need to do.
I mean, like you said, it comes probably with age. I remember when I came here to the island, I did risky things that
did.
If I think back on it now, and I'm like, oh my God, did I really do this?
Yeah,
and then and I don't think I would do it now. But at that moment, it was sort of like this innocence. Sort of like beginner's luck, childlike.
Or invincibility, a sense of invincibility.
Yeah. So that, but that's a good thing actually to keep, because it's against our logic and against
Self-preservation.
all we have to conform with, but it's the essence to keep us going.
By the way, if people are wondering why I haven't read any of the comments, because I wasn't touching the tablet, it's shut down and I don't know what Tim's code is.
Oh, okay.
So I've no idea how to look at your comments, people. I'm really sorry.
Oh,
He
So-
will be back.
He will be.
He'll be back like Arnie.
Yeah, and we'll have to
Yes.
comment on how clean and fresh he smells.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it's
he'll think the
exactly.
shower.
Look really good.
Well, you see, again, we're talking about perception here.
It is, and we can always choose to change that. You know, it's not that that some things that are like frustrating only happen to some people, and the rest is not touched by it. It's maybe just the question how quickly can you change your perception?
Is it about regrets too? I mean, is risk mixed with regrets? When you get to a certain age, you start thinking, okay, there are certain things that I will never be able to do now because of my age. And I wonder, with the age thing, do you also then regret that you didn't take risks, or should you actually learn to accept the life you've lived more?
Yeah, I mean acceptance,
Definitely.
right? Chris, you mentioned this a lot of times, that acceptance is really
Yeah.
important in your
Really
life.
important. Because you can't always complain that you can't do that. and
Yeah,
It's annoying for yourself and for other people as well.
yeah, true.
But there are certain things you can't change. I mean,
Yeah.
as our lovely friend Daniel says, and he's quoting some of those steps. You change the things you can, and
Exactly.
you can't. I don't know what you do with things you can't change. You ask an extra power or an outer power to help you with them.
Well, or yes, I mean it's sort of like it's like when you refer to this 12-step program, for instance, and I believe I feel that we're all sort of addicted to some point, whether to narcotics or whatever substance.
Or religion,
Or
or
overthinking,
or money.
or yes, or indulgence, or
Yeah.
whatever, you
Yeah.
know. So I think it's important to invest in your inner trust, and gain this back, and it only comes by calming down, accepting the things that are external, that you cannot change, and actually look within the things you can change, because the only thing we can change is our first ever balcony banter topic, your own attitude.
Yeah, and that is risking it too, isn't it?
It is.
Like,
Yeah, and I think for the things you can't do anymore, you should find a substitute, something else to
Yeah.
do instead.
Yeah, and ideally a better substitute or
Yeah.
replacement.
I think also self-acknowledgement is
Yes.
part of it too. That
Yeah.
you actually are aware as well of your own limits,
Yeah.
because we all do have limits.
Yes, sure.
And I think that's again that has to be factored into risk and acceptance.
Absolutely,
Doesn't it?
because I mean, if I try to do some woo thing with jumps and whatever, I run the risk of hurting my body, because I'm not really prepared for it.
Yeah.
Some,
Or I can't. I
think-
know I couldn't run a marathon.
I think it has to do also with the preparation time, and that's getting into a routine. But the best risk taking is then prepare your own self, your own way of living, how what you actually want to see in the world, to actually prepare yourself for it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to see in others, the change you want to see in others, trying to implement that in your own behavior and in your own self, and sometimes yes, it's really challenging to do this, as it really goes against our natural being. It's sort of like getting in tune of eating vegetables, whereas you are addicted for a long time to eating fast foods. And
Okay.
then all of a sudden you are supposed to
You're hooked on broccoli.
like broccoli. Ooh, you're like, oh my God, this
Broccoli?
broccoli.
Fast food?
Yeah, here we
Broccoli,
go.
anyone? Broccoli? What?
There's 2 each.
There's a
Thank
very
you.
clean gentleman has just arrived to the balcony.
I didn't say.
No.
So
But you smell very good.
Thank you.
Did you take a risk? Did you use a new shampoo?
No, I use an old shampoo.
Well, that was even more of a risk. Tim,
Yeah.
I stopped reading the comments because I forgot that I didn't know what your password was. So all these people have been posting comments, probably telling us to shut up, and we haven't been able to read them.
Oh, it stopped recording about 10 minutes ago.
No.
Yeah, there's nobody on. Lies.
oh my God, I think my face right now is saying everything. Like
What? We've got to repeat all that stuff we made up.
What?
Okay.
Am
We'll
I
keep you
supposed to put this over on top of it?
No, or is it a dip?
Scotsman in Tenerife is keeping everybody posted.
Ich mach das jetzt
I'm
einfach.
thinking Risk is going over to Tenerife next week. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean,
Uh-huh.
is he
It
back?
depends what you want to do, I suppose.
I mean, someone was saying to me, there was a couple of comments on Facebook yesterday
Uh-huh.
about when they were looking for a curfew, the Canarian government, which has been at the moment rejected by the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, well, hang on, bars close at midnight anyway.
Right.
So, is the reason you're coming to Tenerife only so you can drink late at night?
That's true.
Change why you're coming here.
Yeah.
You know, think of Tenerife as a kind of a holiday island rather than just a cheap drinking hole. That it doesn't matter what time the bars close because it's still a gorgeous island and we're fabulous people here.
Yeah, but don't forget, a lot of people, they work hard all year and all they want to do is blow off steam.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you can blow off steam anyway.
Exactly.
When you come over, it is a risk if
It's a
you're
country thing.
expecting pool parties and that nothing changed,
Because everything's changed.
because everything has changed.
Yeah.
And so if you're expecting that, then it's a risk. If you're saying, hey, it's COVID times and I'm going on a foreign holiday, then I think you know what you're letting yourself in for.
If you're
The
looking
on-
for a change of scenery, perfect.
Yeah, the only difference is that if it does go to level 4 and level 4 doesn't change the way that they're doing it as they've done it now.
This is what we don't know.
This is what we don't know. So it could be like 3, it could be level 4, but the bars are up till 10 instead of 12.
Or they still allow people inside, but you can only sit 2 people at a table.
Or the terraces are 50% or whatever, we don't know.
We don't know.
Because at the moment, level 4 is no different to level 3, apart from they close at 6. You know?
Also, you can only have groups of 2 people outside your own family group.
All right, so
That's
that
a
means
big
so
restriction.
we couldn't meet
No.
next
No.
week. Okay.
No.
In fact, we couldn't even meet Giuliani. Because
No.
even though she's outside the family group,
There's 2 of you.
the maximum is 2.
Exactly.
The maximum, I mean, if there's 6 people in your family group, that's fine.
But you can't have anybody else come and do it.
Exactly.
So that means if you can only meet one other person,
Yeah.
and that's the way it should be, I suppose, really, isn't it? Theoretically.
Infections are spiraling. I mean, that's whether you think that that's irrelevant or not. The
Cruel,
fact is
Tim.
that infections are going up.
Was I cruel?
No. Maybe they meant cool. They don't know how to spell.
Cruel, Tim, after they were so nice to you as well.
Well, you didn't hear it all. We weren't that cruel, were we, Chris? Were we very cruel about Tim?
No.
No.
No,
No,
I think
no.
they're saying Tim's cruel
Oh,
after they were so nice to you as well. What did I say?
I have no idea. Nothing.
I've got to go back and find out what
Okay,
it
I'm
says.
going to have another one of these. Oh, maybe saying that that it hadn't been recording for half an hour. Or for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was cruel, yeah. But I mean, it's nice cruel, wasn't it?
It was bantery.
It was banter, yeah. When's the next decision time for levels in Tenerife? Tomorrow. But you've heard something today, have you?
No. One of the comments we got was that the UK government has kept the Canary Islands on the amber list. What I have heard today, it just came out about half an hour ago in one paper called the Diario de Avisos, which
Uh-huh.
is And the latest is that Pedro Martin, who's the president of the Tenerife government, has said he doesn't see now any way that we're not going to level 4.
Right.
Now, it's not his decision, it's the decision of the regional government.
Right. That's Torres in Co.
Torres and co. The fact that the Supreme Court rejected the request for a curfew, they're saying they have robbed us of a tool we needed in the fight. There's two streams of thought of that. One is, I mean, again, I have a teen, I was talking to the mum of another teen, and they're saying after 18 months, they're going to get around it,
Yeah.
you know.
So-
Because if they can't go out, they'll just go to somebody's house.
And not only that, but they can't police every park, beach,
No.
and
So
woodland.
are they being silly to say that a curfew, as it is, bars close at midnight?
Yeah.
They wanted a curfew, and parks and beaches and plazas are all closed from 10 to the
10
public
o'clock.
anyway, which, I mean, a lot of the kids do go down to the beaches or the plazas.
Mm-hmm.
So would a curfew make a huge difference? I don't think it would, actually.
You know, what I don't understand is why we have to resort to force and law instead of just sort of saying to the people, do you want to get sick? Don't do this, you know. It's like common sense. But like you said, 12 months down the road or 18 months down the road, people are just sort of saying, I don't care anymore.
Or actually, no one I know's got sick. I mean, maybe we've lived in this nice little bubble here in the south of Tenerife. Have any of us actually seen somebody we know here get really sick?
I know people who've got COVID or have had COVID, but I've never seen anybody who's been in ICU.
No,
I
me
don't
neither.
know anybody that's...
Not in Tenerife.
Yeah.
I do back in Ireland.
And not only that, but they're talking about the long-term effects of this disease, the long COVID.
Long COVID's separate as well, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not only separate, but it's also a factor in what, like, we don't want to, you know,
Yeah.
expose people now because we still don't know the risks, of the
Yeah.
long-term COVID. So it's not that they're just trying to stop you getting sick now. Is they say it's still an unknown thing, and what would happen if, you know, everybody who's had the disease has now got lost 30% of their lung capacity,
Yeah.
or when they get older, they're more prone to whatever lung disease
Flu
they're going to
or
have, you know.
pneumonia or something.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. But I don't think the communication has happened to sort of say, let's beat this together.
No.
Nobody's on board, and that was the problem. So the risk and also it's too easy to give help to the people who need it instead of the trickle down economics that's still happening. And my biggest beef is that if we'd have been told, you're going to get your wages whatever happens, I want you to sit on your hands for 2 months in the house, then we'd have got rid of it. In fact, we did
Well, we
get rid
did
of
for
it.
3 months. Yeah.
But then people sort of says, hey, we're opening up again, let's go, you know.
See, I mean, I do
And that's
believe
the
that
risk
there
that's
were
happening on the 19th.
Yeah.
In
the UK.
Yeah.
But I do think here that the opening up in July of last year was very quick, and it wasn't staggered, and you know everything opened up, and then we had another spike.
I agree with you. I think what happened is everybody, you know, it was basically it'll all be over by Christmas type of mentality, right?
World War what?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then it'll all be over by Christmas. Don't worry. Christina's wrecking the place.
Sorry.
It's all
She's
right.
risking.
She's risking a biscuit.
She's risking a cucumber.
A cucumber. Yeah, so basically I thought and what happened was they saw the spike going up, then they saw the spike coming down.
Thank
And so they thought, oh, we got this beat because we can do this at any time. Yeah. And then they said, well, we don't want to lose the summer, so okay, we'll open up for the summer, and then what will happen is it'll either go up or down or it won't.
And there was huge pressure from the industry,
Yeah,
from the
right,
hotel industry,
right,
the
right,
restaurant sector,
right.
and everything. Yeah.
So they took the risk to sort of say nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Or if it does happen, we're going to do this, that, and the other. Hi, JJ. And 42,000 new cases in the UK.
Yeah.
So,
But they're opening up.
yeah.
I mean,
But you're right. You're right. I think that the last July was I think we can control this.
Because no one knew what was.
And nobody
still
knew.
were
So
ignorant.
the risk, yeah, but they took the risk and they failed.
Yeah.
So then we got the second wave. Then we came in. Then we couldn't close down anymore, or we didn't close down as badly.
No, we didn't close down again.
We didn't close down again, but there was more restrictions. They were trying to like put out little fires instead of throwing a blanket over the whole thing like they did the first time. So they wanted to stopped doing that. They say, well, you can come on holiday, but you're going to do this, you're going to do that, wear the mask, do the gloves.
But as well, all of the other European countries were in quarantine at that stage.
You're right.
Because they were having their Christmas wave.
Right.
So
But then we had the Christmas wave.
Uh,
Well, after Christmas wave, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we closed down slightly again. but
and then the
nothing
state
worse.
of emergency ended in May.
Yeah, and after that, it was basically do whatever you want and just don't be silly. And then there was a certain portion of the population that were being silly.
I also think that, and I remember, I'm going to name drop here, saying this on RT radio a couple of weeks ago, that at that stage, 3 weeks ago, the Delta variant hadn't really made an appearance here.
No.
And because looking at how quickly infections were spreading in other countries, I kind of did say, we're not going to know what's hit us when the Delta variant gets here.
Right.
And there was a line in, again, that same newspaper yesterday or the day before, it said you can, before it was you need to be in a room with somebody for 15 minutes to actually be in a real risk of being infected if they have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They're now saying you can pick up the Delta variant as you're standing beside somebody at a traffic light waiting for the colour to change.
You joke.
It's that quick.
Oh, dear.
And that's why the infection rates, 333 new infections in Tenerife today.
Yeah.
Okay, over 600 in the Canary Islands.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen those figures ever here.
No. And not only that, but we've gone up, 400%?
Something, a decade, the last time I was here on the balcony, we were at 40, and it's over 200 today.
Yeah. And that's active cases, right?
Yeah.
And I realise that active cases isn't the new cases and stuff. It's the delta between the people who've recovered and the people who are sick. So what's happening is people are infecting themselves quicker than people are getting better.
Yeah, but with the Delta, because it's that quick.
Yeah.
Now, what we don't know is, there are more people in hospital. There was a death report in Tenerife yesterday. But the level of deaths is nothing like it was this time last year. That is a blessing.
Yeah, but don't forget that all of the vulnerable people have either
Or
gone.
yeah.
You know.
Or no, they're vaccinated.
Or they're vaccinated.
Yeah, Spain, about a month ago, that all of the 100% of the over 80s were vaccinated a month ago. Now that's good.
I think we're doing pretty well here. We're inviting 20-year-olds now to get vaccinated, right?
That'll start, I think, next week. Yeah.
So now it's like 30 to 40-year-olds.
Yeah, 30 to 49, I think.
30 to 49, yeah.
But again, so you have this dichotomy because you have the main age group where we're seeing the rise in infections nationally, including ourselves, is the 18 to 29-year-olds, which is the age group that hasn't been vaccinated yet.
Right.
So it's like, give me a phrase, quid pro quo, or, dog eating, I don't know. There's bound to be a cliche that suits. I just
Exactly.
can't think of it off the top of my head.
I've just got to change something over here. 1 second.
But then, you've positive things like the Canarian government have a system at the moment. So if anybody's coming from the Spanish mainland, which is big for us for tourism, the Canarian government has a system where they pay for their test for them. Mm-hmm. So, there's some people thinking on their feet.
Yeah, but I think there was a question earlier on before I went for my shower where people were saying, is it mixture of tourists and I don't think there's any tourists who've got it, right?
It certainly hasn't. We're not getting a breakdown. We did in the past, in the olden days, in the bad old days at the beginning, we knew there were 14 Britons, there were 25 Italians, there were 13 Spanish people. Now it's just people. But certainly no one has reported anywhere that tourism has been a cause of an increase.
And no hotels are in quarantine, apart from the ones that are being used for COVID sufferers.
Well, there isn't a named hotel. Again, I was asked this recently, and I texted the press office of the Canarian Health Department the other day to ask what is the situation if somebody gets COVID, if they test positive before they're supposed to fly back. And the Canarian government have an agreement with AXA Seguro, so that from what I gather, now I could be wrong, so please feel free to correct me, but they will continue to pay your hotel stay until you've passed through the quarantine, you're negative again.
Right, but they saying
But you don't move hotel.
You don't move hotel. So
That's what I'm told
basically
now.
you're quarantining in your room.
Yeah.
On your balcony.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I believe. As I say, I could be corrected. I still need to investigate that a bit further.
I seem to remember there was a question that they were going to use the ITA buildings as quarantine village.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that. You see, again, somebody else asked me that. I haven't heard that they've done that. All I've heard is that there is a policy in place paid for by the Canarian government so that people can continue to stay. But I asked somebody to stay, and they said they believe it means they stay in their own hotels.
Mm-hmm.
If that changes, I'll let you know, and you can put it up in your next
Okay.
podcast.
Ian's about to go. He came in and
ignored him.
obviously asked, "Can I come on? Can I come on?"
I didn't know how to do it
And
because
nobody opened the
Nobody
door.
opened the thing, and that was
Tim
it.
was showering.
Because I was showering. Oh, yes, my fault again.
Oh, of course it is.
Weren't 80 to 29-year-olds always getting it, but there were more older people, so it wasn't news, says Wayne Wobbs. I think everybody was getting it, but if you look at the bell curve, and it was a bell curve, it was mostly 40 to 80-year-olds that were getting it.
And going to hospital.
And going to hospital, right.
I mean, again.
But now, obviously, the people are being vaccinated at the higher end, so
Yeah.
the bell curve's moving down.
Yeah.
And now it's 20 to 49-year-olds that are getting it, yeah.
Chris? As well, and I mean, you have, I know in Ireland, and I think in the UK as well, there's a glut in the middle, which I'm part of. I'm part of a glut, where you have, like now, loads of people younger than me have been double jabbed for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I'm still waiting for my second one because I'm in the 59 to 69 age group,
I got mine the other day.
and I'm my second AstraZeneca's on Saturday.
Ah, okay. Oh, yes, because you were a couple of weeks behind me.
Yeah.
I had mine on the 27th.
Yeah. So
27th.
because we fell into that age group, we're possibly more vulnerable than someone who's 40.
And also the AstraZeneca.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Did you have were you offered a Pfizer or an AstraZeneca for your
No,
second?
no.
AstraZeneca.
They didn't offer us anything. I sat down and I said,
Stuck a needle
"Do
in your
I-"
arm.
Ow!
Anyway,
Anyway, I want to get I want to get Christina and Giuliani back into the conversation.
that means I get to eat croquettes.
And we're going to eat croquettes, yes.
Yeah, munching.
And I'm going to solo them for a second. Are you ready, girls?
Are we ready?
So
Ready to rumble?
from everything you've heard now, what is your spin on it?
What's your spin?
What's yours been?
You got your mouth full, right? Well, like we said, or like I said before, just working on keeping calm, and at the moment we cannot really change the situation, and it's the question is whether we get really frustrated about all the changes that are happening on a daily basis, or just go with the flow. And I mean, it's not that it's all accepting, but
No.
but I am not the one who's gonna change any government situations, and I can only change how I want to react or respond to it, and how I choose to do that is to put my vibes the highest, sort of, and sometimes it also maybe means to avoid certain situations, certain type of information that I digest. That doesn't mean that I'm not up to date or don't know what's going on, but I'm not going down that spiral, or trying to get sucked into that vortex too much, or else I from my own self I'm not functioning right. I know that. So that those are just suggestions that I personally do. Everyone is different, and gotta accept that as well. Yeah.
That's true. I'm going to solo me now. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here.
Yeah.
We have a guy or a woman, I don't know, called Magnus, and I've seen a couple of his or her comments, and they're all to do with China. And I think he wants us to discuss, or just to touch on the fact, I wonder why China's getting away with infecting the world. And I was talking the other day about when I was working in China, and people were spitting on the table, and he or she said it's because they don't have any sanitary in China. So I think maybe that's not the perfect attitude to have on our channel. We don't blanket people who were born in a particular place with a particular trait. That's called nationalism, and we don't allow that. But we will discuss why isn't China being castigated for infecting the world in his or her views. So what are your views on that?
What, really? Seriously? This is a question?
It's a question, yeah. So, do you think that we as the West should castigate China for infecting the world?
Well, I don't think it infected the world.
Well, that's.
I mean, people infect other people. Viruses mutate all the time. So, you know, the Delta variant, which was originally detected in India, do we blame India for that?
No, I mean, no. I understand what you're saying, and
so I don't. It's not even a question that I would consider. So I don't have an answer.
Good. And yourselves, is it something we want to consider on this channel?
No.
Okay. So Magnus, thank you very much for your question there. So we don't think that any country or any type of people are responsible for this. It's a virus for humans, and unless you're not a human, obviously, then it's all of us. But we won't discuss that anymore. But thank you for your input anyway. Okay, so we're all three online now. But you understand why I asked that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. And I think it's important for you and for us to state that we're not pretending that the question isn't out there, but it's not something that we feel.
Right. It's something that
we
you
want to
shouldn't be. Well, it's something that we're not going to dwell on
No.
because we don't think in nationalistic
No.
ways. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people who are international realise that people all over the world are exactly the same, and it's only people that are small town, probably never got out of there or took Britain with them on holiday to Tenerife, and
Absolutely.
Then-
I think
yeah.
our viewers are very open.
99.999%.
open-minded.
99.9%. But
And-
we do have people that want to come in and show that view, and it's a valid
Okay.
view because
Absolutely.
there are people like that in the world who think like that. But we don't think like that on the channel. And
No.
if you want to do that, then find another channel.
And
Yeah.
luckily, we can choose where we want to give our energy to.
Exactly, and I want to give my energy to the
To the last crossing.
okay, because I think this is mine. I think. Did I have two? Did I have one?
I've had about 6, so it's definitely yours.
Oh,
I had
it's
one.
ham.
How
Nice
many
to know.
did you have?
I didn't
I've had
have any,
I've
but
had
I'm
too
not
many.
really. I'm not really keen on
On the ham ones.
Is there any more Wasser? Bitte.
Wasser.
Allow me. I'm going to go and get the water while the girls carry on. It's we're in 47 minutes, so we can start wrapping up if we're going
Time
slow.
flies when you're having
But
fun.
balcony banter AB, I think that's the way it was. Yes.
Any more questions there? No?
Is Ian gonna come back on?
I don't think so. He's gone.
Okay. Well, Ian, special hello to you, and thanks for trying to pop in.
Vincent says, "Well said, Cleo and Tim."
Oh, all right. Thank you, Vincent. I mean, I work, a lot of people know, I work for the local council, and I mean, one of the things, it's just been really hard, but they've really tried to keep going. I mean, this week we're inaugurating the summer university, which is in its 28th year, and they cancelled it last year. And it's one of the few events that they have said, like Adeche has said, and I know a lot of other councils have too, but it's where I know we're going to continue to invest in culture, in education, not just because we think it's the right thing to do, but it creates jobs and it creates employment and it gives people something to look forward to.
Exactly, and I think those are it's a very good approach because culture and cultural events and happenings are very important
Thanks, Tim.
for our society.
Yeah.
And for spreading love and and meaning and give meaning to something.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
I think Adeche is doing an excellent job at that.
I mean, I know a lot of people criticise what's going on. The other day, they just announced the council is going to, they've got a scheme where they're giving 2,000 euros to restaurants who have suffered during the pandemic. And someone was saying, oh, you know, it's not going to save somebody after a year of closure. But there are limits to what a council can do as well. And I work in there every single day, and people are just trying to keep everything going. You know, and sometimes I'm thinking, oh, are they going to say, well, look, we don't really want someone in there who's our language translator? I mean, because I translate. And then I think, well, actually, they're probably saying, well, it's important that the residents who live in a decade, that thousands of people who don't speak Spanish, we're continuing to keep them informed.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm thinking, well done them for doing it, even though it means they're paying my wage. The broader outlook. And I think maybe that's been one of the risks of the pandemic, that governments could have gone the route of saying, right, we shut down everything that isn't about just, you know, I don't know, keeping ourselves in a job. So not just a decade, but lots of other councils and the Cabildo and in Spain to have said we need to keep certain basic things going, like schools, like theatre when we can do it. There was a jazz concert on last week, because otherwise we run the risk of just shutting down everything that, because these things matter in people's lives as well. Culture matters, education matters, points of view matter.
They are also part of our mental well-being.
Very much so.
And,
very much so.
And if we don't really engage in happenings like these, then this ultimately will probably be our next pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just, you know, culture and arts. It's after hours football for the kids and karate and, you know, things like that. And I'm kind of glad to work for a council that sees that's as important. Again, I know that I made lots of mistakes, doesn't everybody? And I'm remembering poor old Daniel last week or the week before. He was so frustrated, and he just felt that no politician anywhere was doing a good job. But you know, there are some out there who are doing it for the right reasons.
Absolutely. And I mean, what you said, the people who are working there, they are humans, the same as we are. And that's human nature. Yeah. We make mistakes, but we also break them. And we can break them, and we can be grateful for something, and we can be forgiving for something.
Yeah.
And I think if we learn to implement those kind of behavior patterns on a daily basis into our daily life, I think this will bring forward much better solutions than complaining. And it's just that kind of perception that has to happen on a daily basis, and it has to be internalized, and not just, okay, well, now today on Monday I'm forgiving and I'm grateful for this and that, but the rest of the day is not. It has to be something that
has to be integral.
Exactly, and integrity plays a huge role in this.
And the little things continue. I mean, COVID happened globally, but people still have MS, have bad backs, have birthdays, fall in love, fall out of love, have children. And those day-to-day happenings, in that order. But so the minutiae of daily life has continued. And I think it's really important that that's also acknowledged. That we can't just say, okay, we just have to focus entirely on COVID. And I know maybe I tend to, because I come over here with the facts and I'm the one who says, we're going into level 3, we're going to level 4. But the day-to-day existence of people's lives needs to be nurtured as well.
Yeah. And then that's why we exist, our happy bubble.
Which has made me feel better than when I walked in the door an hour ago, so thank you.
Thank you for keeping us updated all the time.
Yeah, Jack Bell was saying, I know a lot of you have been commenting, and I apologise I'll not be reading them out, but Jack Bell was sort of saying that maybe if the, well, I'm paraphrasing Jack Bell now, but maybe if the politicians lost 50% of their wages, then they would make different decisions.
I don't know. Would they?
I don't know.
I mean, why? Why would they make different decisions?
That was my paraphrase of Jack Bell's, that not one politician has lost money on it, so therefore they don't see the urgency, maybe.
Oh, I think they do.
I think I'm a bit cynical with politicians, and I think politicians' jobs are to get re-elected. Not
Yeah,
to, not-
okay. I mean, again,
not
that's
to
a
help
whole
the
nother
people.
argument, and I
Right.
get that.
And I think that they make decisions based on election possibilities of the future, and not
And
what's
make
best
themselves
for the
look
present.
good.
Yeah, not what's
Okay.
good for the
All
present. So if they were making decisions for the future of our children, our children's children, then which is what their real job is, then that will be okay. But I think that making decisions just to be re-elected or to look good. I mean, typically there's the prime minister is always viewed as the one that brings out the good news, and he leaves all the bad news for somebody else. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Matt
the pri-
Hancock. Oh no, hang on,
No,
he's
no,
gone.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that prime minister. I mean our prime minister,
Ours, Pedro Sanchez.
Pedro Sanchez. Yeah.
Do you think I've never heard that perception? But then again,
A
maybe
l-
I live in a socialist bubble. So.
You live in a socialist bubble, but a lot of people are sort of saying that that you see Sanchez coming out giving good news, like no masks on Saturday.
No.
But if there's bad news, then he leaves it to somebody else.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, well, again, we could have a whole other day discussion.
Right.
Like the whole
Well, the risk of
issue of Catalan politicians I found was very interesting, and he stood up on that one.
He did, but then he gave us a mixed message with the pardons. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway.
Politics is a messy old
It
business.
certainly is. We are equals. We saw from Wembley and all the booing that was going on an issue when you don't look at all humans being as equal and deserving of respect, no matter what country they're from.
Huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
that comes from what we were saying before. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a balcony banter comedy hour. Lots of
Love
laughter and bad jokes.
Love
Pete
it.
and Shell.
Brilliant.
Next week is the 21st, right? So next week, if we are
Thank you.
in lockdown or we can't
Level
meet
4.
physically, level 4, theoretically we can meet for 5 minutes in the bar until they close at 6.
No, but we can't all meet together.
Yes, we can.
No, because we're only groups of 2.
No, it's groups of 6.
No, not until level 4, my love.
If you look at level 4 today,
Oh,
right
okay.
now, yeah, it's bars can have 6 people if you're fully vaccinated.
Okay. But I
And
won't. Oh, I will
and
be.
And
4.
and 4 people. Oh, you're not vaccinated at
No.
all, are you?
No.
Oh, off you go then. And but we're only 4, and 4 people if you're not vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
And it's only inside. At the bar is 2.
Well, we'll see. But again, all that could change.
Oh, that could change. Yeah. But what I was going to say was, Pete and Shell, that was a jokes hour. So what we'll do next week,
Can we have no Irish jokes, please?
there are only going to be Irish jokes next week. It's,
Yeah.
it's Irish joke, Mickey, Paddy, and
And we were just talking about racism,
we were,
and it really insults me actually.
and it will only be jokes about non-Irish people.
Yeah, Scots, no, Germans.
Germans,
Yeah.
the Germans.
Germans.
No, we got all right then. No, okay. We're in a socialist bind now. You can only sell jokes that are not funny.
Woke jokes.
Woke jokes.
Woke jokes. We'd have a woke joke hour.
Actually, what
Probably
does
put
woke,
everyone to sleep.
what does woke mean now?
Oh, who knows?
I thought woke meant that you were awake.
Awake.
Yeah, but now it sort of means that you're asleep and you're drinking the Kool-Aid from somebody else.
Or now, a couple of months ago it was almost a compliment, and now I don't know. The alt-right have turned it into an insult, haven't they?
Yeah.
That
But
you're
I
a
thought
snowflake and
I
that
thought
you're
it was
woke.
I thought it was the alt-right that was woke.
No, for a while, like being woke was cool,
That's what I thought, but then I found out that
and now it's an insult.
Yeah, but is it?
Well, according to, it's now said with derision and sneering.
You're woke.
Yeah, oh, the woke generation. Who do they think they are?
Okay.
Going around, knitting their own ear hair or something.
Christina has a theory about this, haven't you, kid? That the world changes so much when you get older, you just realise it's not mine anymore and just decide, I think it's time to go. Isn't it, kid?
Yeah.
I'm just lucky that I've got technology to
And
keep
I
me going.
That's a good point.
personally feel that Christina is pretty much woke.
If it's something nice, then I think she's woke
Yeah,
as
She
well.
is very woke.
I like woke.
I don't even know what it is.
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
you're it.
You're it.
You're very awakened. You got your senses all.
You know
tuned in.
why? Because she's arse height to everybody else, right? And nobody talks to her. so she can just watch and show how stupid people can be.
Yeah.
And then she decides not to be that.
Oh, well, the rest of us sit there with stupid expressions on our face going, really? Really?
Can I have another croquant,
You
please?
can.
Was it croquant or a croissant?
I don't know.
Okay.
Croquette.
It's a croquette.
Ah,
It's not a cronut.
all these cronuts.
Do you remember the cronut rage?
I'd have read about it, never actually had one.
Well, Lidl had them for a while.
Yeah?
They did. I don't think they were able to use the name, but they were delicious.
Lidl.
Lidl. Well,
Lidl.
Lidl, whatever it's called.
Lidl.
Macadona, Macadona.
I want to go back to New York. Can we do a balcony banter from New York?
We
I
can,
really
we can.
I've been all these, when memories pop up on your Facebook. So for some reason, I think because I was in New York 3 years ago and 5 years ago, they're popping up my New York memories, and I'm just thinking, I need to go back. I need to go back. I need to be in Coney Island and Central Park and Union Square.
Unfortunately, because I'm a third country national, right? I went to America in 1992 for work, and I went in February and September. And the February trip was 1 week, and September trip was 2 weeks. And I went for the 1 week in February, and the last meeting was in Toronto.
You've told the story,
I
I
have
think,
told the
and
story.
they never stamped your passport.
They never stamped my passport leaving, so therefore they didn't have a register of me leaving. I actually sent the white ticket to the American embassy in Munich after I got home per mail, but they obviously just threw it away. So when I arrived back in September, they let me in. But when I left, the next time I went, which was the year after, was 1993. They said last year you were in for an
You're
overstay.
extended.
So I can never ever go to the United States of America again ever on a visa waiver program. I always have to go to the American embassy in Madrid, right, physically, and pick up a visa.
So you can't get the ESTA.
I can't fill that out, no. And the reason I'm saying that is because those of you who are thinking of overstaying in Europe,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
No, don't.
No,
Don't.
because it will be with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it funny how Brexit and COVID and Covexit all got mixed up? And
It did.
I mean, people come up with all sorts of theories. The other day on the beach, somebody was saying that they believe that the reason that, this current, to my mind, ridiculous notion that people who've been vaccinated in the UK don't have to quarantine if they're returned to the UK from Spain, but British passport holders who've been vaccinated here still have to quarantine.
That's not true, no.
Yes, it is. It's only if you've been vaccinated in the UK that you don't have to quarantine returning from an amber list country. Very clearly. Which is...
Even if we had the AstraZeneca Oxford.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is nonsense. So somebody says this is Brexit because they want to show Europe how important British tourists are. They don't really care about British residents here. I mean, it'll have to change. Apparently it is, the other point of view is that it is the British government holding out for convergence with the European Union, because if they recognise our digital certs, we'll recognise theirs. But at the moment,
Okay.
if you live here and you've had your 2 vaccinations, you still have to quarantine.
I think it's not the vaccination that's the problem. You're right. It's the certificate that's the problem, right?
It's because it's not, they don't recognise the qualification.
No, because I think what it is that when they wrote the law, they said you have to show your NHS app
Yeah.
thing, and we don't have one. Yeah, we've got another one, but we got a different one.
We've got our EU COVID app.
Yeah, but you don't even need an app. All you got to do is go to a website and download your PDF version. It's got everything on it you need.
Yeah.
We're coming up to the hour now. Actually, no, we're over the hour, an hour and 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it was a great evening today. We've touched on a lot of other things. Did we actually get to we got to the level 4, level
Yeah,
3
we
and all
talked
that?
about
didn't we? And we got to about the taking risks.
And you had your shower.
I had my shower. I actually filmed it, so I'll show that on Freaky Friday.
Right. So, by the way, you missed the bit where we said we're going to do at least one program from the pool. How
Yeah.
we're going to do it, we're not sure.
It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Just the same thing.
But
It's
in the pool.
we can do it in the pool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In,
grand.
in
yeah.
the water.
Yeah.
No, we can do it in the water. It's just I've got to use my 360-degree camera.
Right. We'll
Which
need
is
to
good
I
anyway.
think we'll need to talk to the president of the Comunidad as well.
Why?
Because it might be just slightly dangerous, would it be?
No.
We'd have no wires streeling into the pool. We were kind of...
Basically, the microphones will be the one on the camera, so you'll just have to shout.
That's a risk we should
Yeah,
take.
but we
There
can
we go.
actually do it.
I was joking. Is this me? Do you know what I did? Okay, very quickly.
Technology.
I did a risky thing. Well, it wasn't risky. Before I had my back operation last year, I promised my daughter Brianna that I would do a certain thing if we got through it. So we were in La Gomera 2 weeks ago and I had my belly button pierced.
Wow.
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
at nearly 60. I risked it.
Yeah. I tried to
And
get
I love
mine.
it. I'm really proud of myself.
I went to get mine done last week, but as they pricked me, I went,
You flew off the balcony. No, Tim. Really. I did. I'm amazed.
I've had my ears pierced, or just one of them. I've had one
Okay.
ear pierced twice. But that's about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to... In fact, everybody's gone, I think. Oh, no, they're still here. Talking of Brexit, my daughter has to leave Spain at the end of September, and we're thinking of Turkey. Anyone been? Can you recommend a town to spend 3 months? I will never, ever go to Turkey ever again, because I had the worst holiday of my life there. That's another story.
I like Antalya, and I like Side is a really nice.
Ankara is supposed to be lovely.
Nice place to stay. Kemmer as well.
Like with anywhere, I'd say move slightly away from the busy tourist spots if you're going to live there.
Yeah, no, well, I went to the Riviera, what's it called?
Bodrum.
Belek.
Bodrum.
Turkish
All right.
Riviera.
I was in
yeah.
Bodrum.
The Turkish Riviera. But I did have a neighbour that was that had a house in Istanbul. Is it Istanbul?
Yeah.
Or is it called something else now?
No, it's Istanbul,
No.
but the capital's Ankara.
Yeah.
No, but they were living in Istanbul on the Bosporus.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it used to be? Oh, it was Constantinople, wasn't it?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
exactly. That's way back.
Istanbul,
Your
time.
Constantinople.
Actually, my daughter, when she goes to Ghana, she gets the cheap flight to Ghana with Turkish Airlines,
Yeah.
and she's got to have a layover in Istanbul.
Oh,
so
nice.
she's got to go from Germany to Istanbul and down to Ghana.
Okay. Well,
That's another story.
Yeah.
But
there
they-
are
they're
odd
going
things
next
in the
month.
world. There you
They're
go.
going next month.
Yeah.
Is she coming
So-
over here?
She's going to come for Christmas.
So we'll do a balcony banter with her.
We do a balcony banter
Yes.
with her.
Okay.
They've done one, haven't they?
Yeah,
They did
we
one.
have.
They've been on it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ladies and jelly spoons, thank you very much for joining us. I hope that we didn't depress you too much. Next week is going to be Joke Week. You can supply your joke by email to me at timothydowd.com.
They could send voice.
at timothydowd.com. You can come live and type one in the thing, but we'll ignore it unless, we catch it properly. Or if you want to come in the room, let me know by email first and we'll organise a time. For those of you who want to come in the room, we'll organise it. 125 people watching. I'd like to thank each and every one of you. I'd also like to thank Cleo for being such a great knowledge fountain.
Yes.
I want to thank...
You're welcome. And thank you guys for cheering me up.
You're welcome. I want to thank you, Liani, for having the patience and everything to deal with all the negativity and her vibes. We're going to have to give her some chocolate for vibes in a minute. Yeah? And I'd like to thank my wife, Christina, for
everything.
for sitting there and taking it all in and tolerating at least me.
Yeah.
And
That's
thank you
really-
to you guys as well.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Timmy, baby.
The way that it's going to work is tomorrow is supposed to be swim day, so we are going swimming in the morning. I
Good.
don't think there's anything stopping us. We're risking it for a biscuit. And that means there will be no walk till Friday. I am planning to go walk on Friday and Freaky Friday as normal. I don't know where we're going to be, but it's a nice tapas bar somewhere we're going to find and do tapas. But the new 360 that I tested today, and if you've not seen that, go to the back live streams. I did a test this afternoon, and it works quite well. So tomorrow, after the builders have been to put a new rail in, and I'm going shopping. After the shopping, I'm going to sit in a bar somewhere looking out at the sea and just sit there for 10-15 minutes and let you look round. So it'll be a live show sometime in the afternoon. You can also watch it on catch up, and I'll be there. So I'm planning to do that every time I go shopping. Nip down to a bar, have a Tim and tonic because I'm not drinking at the moment, and let you have a look round.
Nice one.
And you
So-
lost weight already.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Well, I haven't lost any inches off my belly, which is the LEDERHOSEN challenge thing, unfortunately. But I think that'll come. I'm losing it a bit in my face and a bit. on
What
me.
was the date of the 800 challenge? It was Christmas,
Christmas,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're nearly into August, love.
I know. I've already ordered the new LEDERHOSEN. €700 they cost.
Ay caramba.
Exactly the same, just a little bit bigger.
But that wasn't part of the challenge, Tim.
It wasn't part of the challenge.
No, not the
Anyway, ladies
challenge.
and gentlemen, so Google thinks you might like this one next, the one above Clio. The one above Clio. And if you want to support the channel, you can press that little button above Christina and Giuliani. And if you're still not subscribed and you like the content, go above my head here and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
5, 4, 3,